So guys, you want to buy an SN95. You realize the prices are staying pretty stable, pretty low, because people do not like the 4.6 SN cars because, you know, they're weak sauce. So guys, one of the biggest questions I have every single day, it seems like, is I want to buy an SN95 4.6 car. What are things to look for? So this is pretty much going to be my version of before you buy an SN95. Now 90% of this will apply to new edge cars, but not everything will. So number one, you got your intake manifold here. They are known to crack. They leak up here, and then there's a nipple for the heater back here. It'll break off. If your car starts spitting and sputtering, it's very common for it to leak here and get in your spark plug well over here. That'd be your number 4 cylinder, and it will spit and sputter. If it's leaking up here, it'll be in the number 1 cylinder. Another very common issue, it seems, knock on wood, I've yet to have an issue, but inside that fender right there is a unit called the CCM or CCRM. It is a control relay box. It's got a bunch of relays in it. I don't know why they didn't just do it individual, but when one of them goes bad, you can have issues of it not cooling and things like that. So it's a very common issue. Next, you got a vacuum line that comes through the wall right here. It comes up. This actually goes up to here, but it goes to your AC controls. If you find that your blend door is not open, it's only doing defrost or only on foot, good chance this has come unplugged. Just plug it back in and you should have your functions back. Another issue, I haven't cleaned this out yet to prove my point. Cars that have sit, all these leaves and stuff will sit here, you can actually start getting rot in here. All this. So make sure, go around, kind of tap it and feel it and see. But it's very easy to rot out. The next thing is over here. So there's a hole right here, and you see that little thing? Well, that button is right down in top of that right there. There's a button you push. That's for your relay. So sometimes you can get this back. There it is right there. See that red button? That's the fuel pump inertia relay switch. It can trip and make sure that it'll not allow your fuel pump to come on. Next issue is if you look up here, you see all these leaves. Well, you'll notice there's a gap. These leaves can fall down and build up in the bottom of your fender and start rotting it from the inside out. Luckily mine's clear, but you want to keep the leaves off of your car the best you can. Now, since I don't really live here and this is something new to me, I'm going to have to figure out how to address that. Another common overlooked item is the PCV valves. Now this one, for some reason, I do not get oil in it through my intake. The other side I did, so I put an oil overflow so I can catch the oil so it does not go in my intake. Now over here, you'll notice this line that comes out, goes right up through here. Well, this right here is an evap flow sensor. It's for to make sure that it's working right. It reads how much air is going through. Sometimes you'll get a canister code or just a evap in general code, and it's just this right here. That's all mine was 2 times that it happened. Now you can see this little bit of surface rust on things. That's something that I'm going to have to battle, but being over here, it's going to start being easier because we are further away from the beach. So I do look forward to that part. Next is, if you look at your transmission dipstick where it goes down and goes into your transmission, I have a video on this. All there is one O-ring in it. That O-ring, from heat cycles and fluid and all this stuff, Over time it leaks. If you start having low transmission fluid and it looks like it's everywhere underneath your car, probably just coming from that one O-ring down there. So be sure to check that. Down here I have added a ground, okay? This ground goes down and it goes to the frame. Your main ground will go from the frame straight down over to your engine mount bolt. Okay, your motor mount bolt, it goes from there to the frame. So see it on the frame? Mine's upgraded. It comes over and goes right behind my oil filter housing and goes right to the bolt for the motor mount. I upgraded mine, and I also added some grounds because these are not known for their grounds, okay? They have crappy grounds, pretty much. So as you can see, I added a ground over here, which goes to my alternator to help the alternator ground, and then I have a ground from here just to the case. So I have an added engine ground. So I have all my grounds upgraded, and I have my battery wire is also upgraded from the factory. So you see that big wire right there? I forget what size it is, but it was pretty substantial upgrade over the factory one. Alright guys, so this is your fuel filler grommet. Okay, the neck comes down, it goes in. If this is leaking when you fill up gas, guess where it all goes? Onto the ground. Now I just noticed I replaced mine maybe 2 years ago. You see it cracking up in there? So it probably won't be long between the Florida salt and everything else. I'll probably have to be replacing mine again. While we're under the car, you want to look at your supports here. This is a good indication whether it's been in a wreck or not. If any of this is new or been welded on or anything like that, you can tell. Also, this right here, leaves get between this and here, and it can start causing this to rot from the bottom up. I don't know how many cars I've seen in the junkyard where this whole lower half was gone because of rust. While we're still under the car, where your control arm goes in up here, this is considered a lower torque box, and that's your upper. They are not known to be super strong, so all it takes is some hard launches, and this can essentially just start breaking the box pretty much. The welds will come undone. They do have reinforcement kits. That is something to watch out for. On mine, can you see that union right there on my brake line? Where it goes around that curve, mine had wore a hole in it. So I had to put that union there to repair a hole. Most people replace it, which I had planned, but that union's been on there 3 years now and hasn't had a single issue or leak. So I'll probably just push my luck with it some more. Another issue is the dimmer switch in here. It's a wire winding, so when you turn it and adjust the brightness and dimness. Headlight switch is a huge problem on Fox bodies, but these also have their own quirks and issues. I had an issue when I turn on my lights, my voltage and everything would drop, and it turned out it was just the switch burning out. So something to look out for if you're having battery voltage issues, or at least it's showing on the dash that you have an issue. Alternators really are hit and miss. They sit in a valley, they get a lot of heat. If your power steering pump or anything like that leaks, it throws it straight up to it. So I've been through about 4 alternators. I know people that's been through more, I know people that's been through less. I know people that's still on the original alternator. Like I said, it's very hit or miss, but it's also something to look out for. Of car that is 23 years old, all these fuel injector clips, sometimes they break. You don't push them down far enough, things like that. It's simple things to look out for that can cause a car to stop running. Now I've got my EGR bypassed, the DPFE, all that stuff's bypassed, so not really an issue for me, but there are concerns for people that don't have it deleted. They can cause a lot of annoyances. So guys, that's pretty much it that I've had issues with, except for the steering column, but I don't know anybody else that's had that issue. So basically, in the steering column there is an arm. When you turn the key, it moves. The arm just has a pin through it. That's what actuated it. My pin came out. I've only heard about 3 other people that's had this issue, and these cars are 23, 24 years old. I put mine in, I glued it, I ain't had another issue. I do have a video of that also on my channel. But not a lot of issues that I've had with this car, especially for a car this old. You know, it's just, I think they're great project cars. The price is still down because people don't really care about them. They're weak on power. You can do a PI head swap. You can throw nitrous at them. You can do whatever. My phone keeps adjusting, so I hope that's not too crazy. But yeah, it's one of them things that, them are the small things that I had to deal with, and you know, I can tolerate that. It's nothing crazy. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what issues y'all have had, and thank you for watching.
I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that would be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 60 bars. I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that would be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 60 bars. I won't turn around, I won't turn around. No matter how far I go, I'll never come back.